who had that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with us?
That's all right to go first?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So, I tried to make this concise. So one of the brothers was saying, I was talking with them on a direct message off the Telegram thread, and was sharing some things that spanned from childhood to like 20, well, technically currently. That has really, that has, Master Teacher has gotten my attention because of these experiences that really, I've gotten some insights and answers, but the whole picture hasn't yet come clear. So I'm just kind of, So I'm gonna start off with I'll just kind of go through it, and if you need to pause me at any moment, just let me know. My wife is here also with me, so
good.
She's gonna be listening in. So basically, when I was about somewhere around 7, 8 years old.
That's the age, 7, yeah.
Yes, it was great. I woke up one night, and above me, so I used to, sometimes I sleep in my room. Most of the time I wanted to sleep next to my mother. And so I woke up one night, just kind of in the middle of the night, and there was a figure that was just white. Oh, yeah? What's that?
I don't think they released it.
Yes, we hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. So,
can you all hear me?
Right off.
Yes, they hear you.
Tua. Okay. Tua. Wadu. So, so I'm laying there, and I woke up, and there was just this sort of white, luminescent figure hovering over me. And I was pretty chill. It didn't feel threatening. It felt kind of familiar. So I just kind of looked and went back to sleep. And, I told my mother about it the next day, and she was like, oh, well, that was probably one of your ancestors, or like one of your grandmothers or somebody like that. I was like, oh, okay. Oddly enough, it just wasn't strange to me.
I follow you.
So, and so somewhere in the same time frame, it's hard for me to say exactly, but it was in the same house and in the same room that this next instance happened. So some other night I woke up and I was sleeping in my room, but I decided to get up and go slip into mom's bed and snuggle up. And when I walked in there, she had a green outline around her. And for a moment,
around her head, right?
It was her whole body.
Okay.
It was her whole body. And so I guess, it's hard to say if it was accentuated around the head, but I started to think, oh, well, maybe this is her alarm clock just sort of casting a light on her. So I reached out to touch her, and it completely went away.
Right.
And I was like,
that's the way it is.
I was like, oh, all right.
Your doubt made it go away. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, again, 7, 8 years old.
I follow.
And I'm going, it didn't seem threatening. It was just the first time I'd seen it.
Yeah.
So fast forward to my teens, and I would have these dreams about having this violet light that I could surround things with, move them with it, interact.
Welcome home.
That led me.
Welcome home, family.
Thank you. And so I started to do more breathing practices and learning to just kind of move my chi. So I learned to move that violet light kind of like as a waterfall over me. And when I did that, it let me actually connect. I was meditating on a candle, and I was able to move that candle by just telling it, go left, go right, go up, go down, and it did.
Did you move the flame or the candle or just the flame?
Just the flame.
Okay.
Just the flame. While during that same summer, I realized that so my cousin had this girl he was messing with, and I was like, man, she's not cool, and she would just irritate me. And it wasn't even anything she said, it was just her vibe. And when that would happen, and I feel that kind of, I could feel this electricity, and then I could discharge.
They are electric. They are electric beings. We are magnetic beings.
Right.
Cherubims have an electric charge. Serpents have a magnetic charge. Just for you to know.
That's for me to know.
That's right.
I'm gonna have to write some of this down as we go.
We recorded too.
But yeah, we'll catch the recording. So I realized that I could discharge a spark whenever I felt that at that time. And it was literally just like static electricity, just cracking. There it was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so fast forward now to my 20s. So this was somewhere around 19 to 21, which would have put it between like 2002, 2003. 2002 to 2004. And I had this dream that at the time I only recognized them as Aphrodite. And Aphrodite rode a shell on a wave up to me and touched my chest, and my heart exploded with this golden light, this brilliant light. And she was draped in like white and pink linens, and just flowing, and just this energy of love just permeating, love and beauty. And from that moment, that's basically what consumed me.
Did you describe this woman?
Kind of like, let me think here. I guess you could say fair skin, dark hair, not like that voluptuous, toned, I guess you could say, figure, and just beautiful, almost like glowing. Like if somebody, when they say a pregnant woman is glowing, it was like that. It was like this. Just
what I was trying to decipher is whether it was a mental generated image, but it doesn't make any difference. There's no difference between what we imagine and what's real, because what's real is a product of our imagination. You follow me?
I follow that. Yeah.
Just like your own body is a product of your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So are your surroundings. It's a mental creation.
Right.
All right, go ahead. See, what I mean, if you had said she was a Nubian woman, I would have probably felt that would have been something other than, because we're programmed to see certain images. You follow what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like if you saw Jesus Christ, if you saw Jesus and he came to you in a certain form, that would tell you, that would be very informative.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I asked everybody here to close their eyes and see Christ, that a certain image would probably pop up.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But go ahead. This is very exciting and interesting, family.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. So that same feeling that I had then, I eventually learned to, I guess, bring that light out of me through practicing like Kundalini yoga.
Right.
And I could actually, in my mind's eye, basically see it. But if somebody was in front of me, they could feel it. And so come 2023, November, December, I guess it was, somewhere, what was that? I guess October. I don't know if you've heard of the Modern Mystery School, but I did an initiation with the Modern Mystery School then, like that October. And that was supposed to activate the last 2 strands of DNA that are supposedly inactive and whatnot. And I had a dream of it was a conversation and something was revealed, and that my question was, all right, I know we're made of light, but what does that really mean, and what does that look like? And so in the dream, there was a being who was in transition from the physical form to an energy form, but that energy form was all green light. And I was talking with him. He appeared like a young boy. And as we're talking, I said, well, can you show me what I really am? And he said, every time that I do this, I transition a little more. My physical body is going to disappear, and it's going to shorten my time here. And I said, I understand. So,
let me ask
you, like this was.
Is there a possibility that you were talking? Was that you were talking to?
That is actually the feeling that I got more than anything else. That I was really talking to myself. And so the issue with it is that it was a painful process. So I was like, okay, this is going to be. I was like, this is the only thing I'm really going to ask, because I know what it's going to do to you. So let me know, and then we'll move on from there. And so he reached to my chest and opened it like it was a cabinet door. And there, where my heart was a green light bulb. Just like an old steampunk style light bulb, just shining. And I was like, oh. He's like, that's what you are. And I said, is that like that for all the organs? He was like, yeah, pretty much. They're all lights that help us navigate and, be. And that was it.
Well, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. What is your name, brother?
Andrew Rodney Davis.
Well, everybody welcome Andrew home and his wife.
Welcome home, Andrew.
Welcome home, brother. With love and light.
That's you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good to be home.
Well, it is. And it's good for you to be here. Because time is just about up. All right. Now, anybody else have a spiritual experience they'd like to share?
I do.
Very good.
I'll try to make it brief. That was beautiful, Andrew. Thanks for sharing.
It really was. But you don't have to make it brief. Just do your thing. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So recently this week at work, I walked down the stairwell towards the receptionist, and there was a young Spanish lady. Like, she was kind of disgruntled and basically like arguing or going back and forth about something that had happened with another individual. So as I was standing there listening to her talk with the receptionist, or who was at the reception, I stood there and looked at her, and then I kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but I started seeing a vision of a woman that appeared to have like a crown on her head, like she was holding her belly, like she was pregnant, kind of like like she was at a celebration. Maybe it was a baby shower.
Sounds like Fatima to me.
Fatima?
Yeah.
So, and I saw her, and the image that I was getting of the woman was the woman that was in front of me that was disgruntled.
Mm-hmm.
So they know me. So I just started. They asked me, what was I staring at? Because I was I guess I was like spaced out because I was seeing what I was seeing. And so I explained to them that I see a woman that's holding like her belly like she's pregnant. And she got this crown on her head, and it looks like they're at a baby shower. And it's kind of like a silhouette of a man standing next to her. But I didn't want to tell the lady in front of me that it was her that I was seeing. And so after I explained that to her, she grabbed me and rushed me towards the stairwell. And when we got in there, she bust out crying. She said, "I'm pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell anybody." And I was like, what just happened?
Right. That's that deity coming out of you. Right.
So I was like, oh my God, I got to call and let Brother Moon know this. But
yeah, it's fascinating. These are signs and wonders and evidence of who you all are. You're truly the 144,000 gathering now, a wondrous elite few. Everybody, what is your name, brother?
Oh, it's Kufu.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad to hear. We welcome you home. I love it. Now, is Christian? Thank you so much. Bless you. Is Christian here? Christian, I have a tracking number for you. Christian, I sent a package to you. All right. Anybody else have a spiritual experience, or what's that first question? Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to say hi tonight, Dr. Larry. This is Lamona.
I'm glad you're here. Bless your soul, Lamona.
This is Anukis, and I had an experience over the past few days. I don't know what caused me to see what I'm about to say, but it seemed like everything, furniture, walls, things like that, seemed to move around from one spot to the other without me touching it. So what was that about?
The same thing. It's just like Cheryl in London, or like Har in Chicago, and of course myself. When I'm moving stars many times for you all outside, I get into it that the trees and the background, everything starts shifting from side to side. And sometimes when I come back in the house, and the walls move back and forth, it's like on that video drone picture, it's like that. Right. But it shows you it's all a mental construct. It's like on the Matrix, where Neil was talking to the little boy that was bending the spoon, and the boy told him, he said, "Don't try bending the spoon, it's impossible. Just relax and bend your mind." You follow me? Wadu. Rahubat. How you doing, family? Is this Christian?
Ranu,
I'm glad you're here, Ranu. Bless your soul. I wish you'd have been here earlier. You just missed some fascinating things. Y'all need to be on time. There's some fascinating, intriguing things. All right, Ranu, you got a spiritual experience you'd like to share? Okay, brother, are you finished with yours?
Yes, Kufu. Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I really did enjoy that, Kufu, and that's like you. That is very spiritual, and that's in a direct alignment with what and who we are, and we're fast awakening. Right now, anybody else have a spiritual experience they'd like to share?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
Just real quick, some time ago, I noticed that in the past that like I'd be sitting down, but my body would just be moving in a circular motion. And lately, it's been happening like a lot more, and it's getting faster and faster.
Is it moving left to right?
Clockwise.
That's
no,
right.
it's moving circular in a clockwise motion, but
That's left
I
to right.
noticed it's getting faster and faster.
I understand what's happening. That's left to right. That's clockwise, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And my
right.
sister Vet is here too. Welcome home,
I am
sister.
happy.
I'm glad you made it to class.
Well, very good. I'm glad that you hear that. All right. I spoke to some of you all and asked you to imagine. Let me explain, make myself as clear as possible. A lot of you belong in heaven, and that are with me, and you will make it there. But there's one chief obstacle. It's just like if you walk up to a brother or sister and ask them what they want out of life, and give them a pencil and pen, they'll look at you dumbfounded, because they're not really clear about what it is that they want. Let me say to you, that's the reason that they don't have it. That's the only reason. And heaven is the same way. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but they don't have a very definitive, very clear and vivid picture of what paradise means to them, what to expect and what they're looking for, what it is they want to achieve, so that they'll know when they have it. You follow me? So I ask some people to meditate. I'm asking all of you to start taking time every day and night, whenever you have a chance and opportunity, to try to imagine very clearly what your concept of heaven or paradise will be. You follow me? Because I can't take you to a non-location. And everybody has a different imagination about what heaven will be. You follow what I'm saying? You have to understand that creation is a thought. I remember when I was 7 years old, and my mother and father separated, and my mother and my brother Red and I, we moved to Michigan, staying with my grandmother for a while. And I was asleep in her room on a let-out couch, like a let-out bed was a let-out chair, rather. And during the night, I was awakened by this very high-pitched frequency, really loud. And when I opened my eyes, it was like daylight outside, even brighter than daylight. And I knew there was something large right over that little house, over the roof. And they had that high-pitched frequency, and I said to myself, I know everybody in Michigan can see this light. And I tried to talk and call people and move, and I couldn't. I was like paralyzed. So I lost consciousness, and when I woke up again, the birds were singing, and there was company in the kitchen. My grandmother used to always make Louisiana coffee for the reverends and deacons and all that. So they were in the kitchen drinking that coffee and talking. So I was listening to hear them talk about what happened last night, and nobody said anything about it. So I got up and walked to the bathroom past everybody. I kind of slowed down to give them an opportunity to speak. When I came out, they still didn't say nothing. So I didn't say anything about it at all for many, many years. But I know a couple of days later, I was down with my mother at our apartment, and I was looking at TV. I had the chair backwards like little boys do. And, you know, with the antennas on it, you have to adjust when it's not clear. And I forgot what I was looking at, but my mother was in the kitchen. And she's a religious woman, and she had one foot over the other in front of the sink, singing gospels. And I looked at her, and she had this blue aura around her. I mean, it was vivid blue, especially around her head. This real bright aura around her. She was singing gospels. So I got up, and I walked over to her, and I touched her. I told her, and she looked down at me. She said, "Oh, Larry, baby." And I said, "Mama, this is a thought world. And one day everybody going to have real big heads." And she looked at me, not condescending, but kind of small. She said, "Yeah, baby, Mama, no." And she was washing the 4 eyes on the stove, the iron eyes on the stove in a little bitty sink. And she had finished washing them, and she was handing me to dry off, and I was putting them on top of the stove, and we did all 3 of them. And she kept feeling around that little shallow water for the 4th one, and feeling around. And then I started helping her. We started looking. She let the water out the sink. It wasn't in there. So we started looking around the stove, around the sink, all around that little kitchen. That thing disappeared. From that day, we never did find it. It is a thought world, you follow me? And somebody wanted her to know that. And I know the big hairs were reflective of the graves that I saw on the craft when I was taken up. But from that day forward, I started having experiences that I could remember. Like, I would wake up in the morning to go to school, like everybody else, but I would wake up on the ceiling with my back to the ceiling looking down at my body on the bed. And one night, I came out of my body. I know one thing helped me a lot. There was a light on the wall, a bright light. And I used to leave it on all night and just stare at that light. And I would stare into that bright light. Even when I don't know when I went to sleep or what happened, but I just would stare at that light until I woke up. And that light reminded me of some bright lights, I guess on the craft or somewhere. But anyway, it would make me come out my body. And I would be looking down at my body. This one time it happened, I was on top of the ceiling and it wasn't morning. So I turned around and scooched around to the doorway. Then I dropped down and went under that, and I went into the kitchen, and then I went across, Eat your phone. Why are you doing that? You see, brother, that's the electric energy we talking about. That's that reptile. So y'all need to put your collective energy together and curse that energy. Curse that energy. I cursed that. As I was moving across the ceiling. All right. Y'all stop. Which room was that? It's 504. And 504, you come back in another room. All right. I was going across the kitchen ceiling. Zyber, you're not here anymore, right?
I'm here.
Okay, that was 504?
712.
I'm in 504.
I had two.
Right now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when that happens, you have to start closing off rooms one at a time till you find out what the culprit is, right? Anyway, when I came out of the bedroom, I was on the kitchen ceiling with my back to it, and I started floating across that to the living room. Then I dropped down under that doorway, big wide doorway, and I went into the living room, and I looked to the left. My mother was sleeping on a let-out couch. And we had just got there, and things were kind of rough. But then I focused on the big picture window right there that I used to always sit in front of in the wintertime. But it's too cold to go outside and play. I used to sit there and watch the people, going back and forth, the squirrels. We had a big chestnut tree in front. So I went to sit in my chair, like I always do, to look out that picture window. But this time, when I went to sit in my chair, I was looking at the wall, and I looked up, and the window ledge was way over my head, and I couldn't understand it. Because the chair was just right for me to sit in and look outside. So I looked down at my body, and I didn't have one. It was just light. And, boy, that scared me. And then I looked at the front door. Even though it was locked, I was imagining that if I would get outside, and I'm afraid of heights, I told myself that. I thought if I slipped outside, I would start going up like one of those helium balloons in the circus, and I wouldn't stop. And so, man, I shot back in my body, and it was a long time before I would come out again. You follow me? But, yes, it really is us. We are very special and divine people. We are deities. We are gods. And it's time for us to gather now. All right? Okay. And I had something I wanted to share with you all. But who has that first question before I get deep into this?
Well, I don't have a question, but I got something that I would like to say in conjunction to what you were saying about, the imagination of where we would like to go, from here.
Yes.
Yeah. See,
your interpretation of heaven.
Yeah. See, first, for those that don't know me, my name is Ranu, you know, so if y'all don't know me. Okay, two things.
Let's welcome the
First
brother
thing is-
home, everybody. Welcome home, Ranu.
Welcome home, brother.
Welcome home.
Very nice. Peace and light.
Home.
Thank you. Well, you know, the first thing is, you know, I had made up in my mind, you know, quite a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago, that my purpose, you know, I wanted to fulfill my purpose out here on this plane. And I wanted to get away from here. And I don't want to, you know, I want this to be my last cycle here. I really don't want to come back into this, you know, because I don't want to come back into all the despair, the lies, the deception, the cookie cutters, the competition, the nonsense, and, you know, the mindless entertainment and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, the older I get, I realize that now I be having a lot of different thoughts in my mind, you know, and I know that's one of the ancestors, you know, they be, you know, talking to me a lot, telling me, you know, to keeping me outside or inside more so than anywhere. And when I say inside, I'm talking about in the physical sense as far as, you know, staying away out the world as much as possible, just go out when necessary. And I'm also talking about the spiritual, the physical, the spiritual sense as far as staying within the due bounds of my own, you know, my own mind. And, you know, it's like the older I get, the more, you know, it's like I got a different vision, and it's like in this sharpening it up, even like my hearing is heightening up. It's like when I go around people, a lot of people, sometimes, you know, I actually hear good people that's worthwhile being around. But that seems to be some time compared to hearing the nonsense that I don't want to be around, you know. And it's almost like putting them shades on in the Matrix. It's almost like I can actually really see all these different beings, and they just roaming around, and they look normal. They look just like they look normal. They look like they look like somebody you can shake their hand and have a good conversation. But
they do look like people.
See those people.
Yeah.
And it's like I can actually see them, you know, and
what they are.
At first, at first, you know, I remember years ago, you know, after seeing the movie, you know, I used to walk around and imagining being able to see these people. But now it's like I actually can see them.
And I actually can too. I've been able to for a long time.
Yeah, and the more I live, the older I get, the more I realize I got to get the hell about this plane, because it's insane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything has been normalized, and it's very few times that I run across people that actually make sense in their conversation.
Right.
You know, so that's just something kind of like a small revelation that I just wanted to share with the class. You know,
I got you, and I'm with you. I feel all of you. I really do. Thank you, Ranu. Anybody else have a question they'd like to ask?
I'd like to chime in again here.
Okay. Christian, are you here to get your tracking number? Okay. Does somebody have a question?
Okay. Real quick, to the brother that was just speaking, I hear those things too. And I thought I was the only one. But before she was my wife, I told her she was the only person that knew about it. But I thought I was the only person that happened to.
And we have a tendency to think that way, because when I was coming out of my body, it was the opposite. When I was 7 years old, I thought everybody did that. It was a lot of years before I realized that everybody couldn't come out their body or see auras and all these type of things. I thought that was natural. I thought everybody did it.
Well, yeah, I get that.
And it's okay. Go ahead. I got you. You got it.
Oh, all good. Cause thank you for sharing that. I definitely would love to hear more. Cause it's nice to feel like you're at home.
That's where you are.
Just talking with the family.
And It's been too long. Radu, how long has it been since you spent a night with me and we walked together and talked together?
Yes, right. It's been probably about 4 years now, well, if not a little bit longer.
Yeah, it was longer. But I miss your presence. But this brother here, he was headed towards some disaster. That he was doing in good faith. I'm not going into details, but he was doing something in good faith, out of accepting people to be honest and pure. And I knew something he didn't know, so I talked to him, and he had the patience with me to come to me and let me explain to him clear. And he listened to me and avoided some terrible, terrible thing. Am I right, Ranu?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Because a lot of times people don't listen. And there was a brother before him that was headed the same way, and he didn't listen, and he ran right into it, and I'm sorry. All right. Anybody have a question they'd like to ask?
Okay, so here's my question.
My question is, you can't see. I just said I want.
Go ahead.
Me? My question is, the maladies that we experience in physical, different pains and other stuff that bother us, is this a result of our bodies adjusting to the shift?
Somewhat. There are symptoms to the ascension. There are symptoms that your body is rebelling. A lot of people sometimes ask me, how do I know that I'm making the ascension or I'm transforming? Well, there are physical signs in your health and also in your disposition, in your habits. You'll find that a lot of things that you really enjoy a lot habitually, like maybe drugs or alcohol or certain heavy diets. You might have liked to eat steaks and a lot of heavy meat and things, and now it's starting to turn you off. And you're backing away from it. You don't really want that in your life. You're starting to lean more towards fruit and vegetables. And, you want to stay more in contact with nature and be around calmer spirits and good souls. You're not attracted to the things you used to be attracted to. You're kind of weaning away, spiraling slowly away from the way that your lifestyle. And it's changing. Because you have to understand, all of us have an inner being. And in these last days, whatever is inside of people is coming out. So, like the brother said, you can't tell the good ones from the bad ones by looking at them. It's just like if you're walking with your child in the winter in the snow, and your child is saying, "Mama and Daddy, what kind of tree is that?" And you say to your child, "Well, I don't know, child, because they all look alike. No leaves, no fruit. It's wintertime." But now we are in the spring of our journey. And those trees are starting to bud and bear fruit and leaves. And now you can judge every tree by the fruit it bears. You follow me? You can see what these people are doing and whether they're bringing people to the light or separating them from the truth. So you can see the devil inside of them. It's like, how do you look at a tree? Because what's inside of the tree is going to soon reveal itself. You follow me? If your mind's eye is open, you can see it. And you know that that's Satan the devil walking in the flesh. Right? Well, that's a child of the Most High. A good soul. And they are here. And a lot of times they're confused about who and what they are. They think they're Fred and Wilma and different things in the mirror, but that's not what they are. They're very negative or positive energy, a polarity of magnetic charge or electric charge. And the thing that is for being like me, like when you were a child, you get a magnet out of the refrigerator and tie it on a string and drag it through the dirt. When you pick it up, It looked like a porcupine. All those metal shards sticking out in every direction. But I tell you what you didn't see. You didn't see rocks and paper and grass and wood and things attached to it. Because it's a magnetic charge. So when I go through a whole crowd of people, very few have a magnetic charge, and they're attached to me, and they will never separate. They cling to me. But all the cherubims, they have an electric charge, and they like, let's look at a hamburger in a bit. Who is this? This thing ain't on this. What is that? They don't feel nothing like what we talking about. They don't feel that. They don't care about that. They think you talking crazy or silly, making up things. That's what they think. This is not for them. They have a seat reserved in hell for them and their kind. It's as simple as that, right? But let's go ahead on. I want to see who else has another question. I love you. Wait a minute. The brother had another question. The brother had a question. Okay, brother. Thank you for your patience. What was your question?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, man. There's plenty of space and time. I did write them down that way. You know, we can get to them when we get to them.
Now's the time.
The one that's kind of the most suspicious or just intriguing right now is that for the last, what would you say, 2 months, 3 months? No, I don't know. But I've been breaking the barrier between my dream and waking reality. And, you know, at some point I used to laugh in my sleep and I could feel my body laugh. That still happens, but as of recently, it's been more vivid. And
look here, y'all star 6 those phones and cut that noise out. Stop being the devil. You gotta understand, brother, the devil is everywhere. This is what I mean. When did the devil get kicked out of family?
Heaven?
That's right. They got kicked out of heaven, so they was there too. So until they get left behind, they're going to do little ugly things to try to block this truth. You hear me? And the beauty of it. You know, they have those crooked little fingers and they touch dials and buttons like a crooked finger trying to push through the wall of a Persian finger, pushing through the wall of an ulcer. Just imagine that in your mind. A crooked little, that's what it is. They're just a booger with feet. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
21. So I've had basically, I've been doing, the last 3 months I've been doing more, you know, mental chanting and my meditations and things like that. And I'm more frequently what I'm dreaming, the words that I'm speaking to people in my dreams are coming out of my physical mouth. And at first it used to be like murmurs and my wife would tell me that my breathing would change. And so she'd kind of be worried and she'd wake me up.
Because it didn't seem like you were breathing enough. That's called spiritual breathing.
Right. And so, okay. And so, 2 things stand out. I had one dream where it felt like an entity was trying to take me over. And I made this firm declaration. And she heard, like, she was like, yo, that was a really commanding voice you were using. And I said, I am the master of myself forever. Right. And it came out loud and clear in both realities.
That's right.
And in my dream, I was, you know, putting distance and fleeing from whatever was trying to, you know, hop in the driver's seat. And she woke me up. And then more recently, I was dreaming that I was speaking to my baby sister who lives, so I'm, you know, I just recently moved away from Louisiana this year, but she's still there.
What part of Louisiana are you from?
Well, I was living in Baton Rouge for the last 29 years.
Yeah, I was born in New Orleans.
All right, yeah.
Lazy lay, huh?
Right?
Yes, right.
Let the good times roll. Yeah,
let
man.
the good times roll. Lazy lay, bon ton roulé. Yep. And New Orleans is a special port. There are 3 cities in the world. That's Mecca, Jerusalem, and New Orleans. You know, they call it Crescent City. Spread your wings to New Orleans and take a message to Michael, right? Yeah, Crescent City, the Crescent City connection. Louisiana, a lot of people came into that port, a lot of deities.
It's true.
And Michael walks the streets of certain cities. There are 3 cities Michael walks in: Mecca, Jerusalem, and New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, son. I'm sorry.
You know, I never connected that. That's a good one.
That's the symbol of the city. Is this ring I have on, the Crescent City? Yeah, star and moon, crescent.
So, and I got something to say about that. Actually, connected to the first thing I was sharing. But recently, I was talking to her, and it happened again. I was talking to my sister, and I said, you know, do I need to give you a real stern talk to help motivate you? Huh?
Dream.
In my dream? Yeah. In the dream, I was talking to her that, hey, do I need to, you know, tell you some things to really help you pull yourself together? And she was like, yeah. So I said, all right, hold on. I was like, all right, look, when you wake up, you're getting to work. You're working out. You're focusing on your day. You're going to get in shape. And then every night at 7 o'clock, you're doing push-ups. And I looked over at the clock, and it said 7:19. And I was like, tomorrow, you're doing push-ups, 7 p.m. And I said to her, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Remember that. And it was that last part when I said, you plan to fail, remember that came out of my mouth again in waking or physical reality. And that's when my wife kind of rocked me and was like, hey, what's going on? And so I told her the dream. And
your inner being, your higher self is merging with your lower self, or the two are coming together. In other words, there's a duality in the sun. When you and your wife, or either one of you in the kitchen trying to decide what you want for lunch, you look in the refrigerator, you see a pig foot and a salad there. Naturally, the salad is healthy, but you may have a craving for the pork. But your higher self will tell you, choose the salad. You don't need that pork. But the carnal aspect of you can say, well, I'm a grown woman. I can have what I want. And that's true. But they go back and forth, like the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the next, right? But you have the ultimate free will. Like you said, you are the master, right? But this argument can get so heavy sometimes that it spills out into the physical world. And you in the other room can say, hey, who are you talking to in there? And you laugh and confess and say, you caught me. I'm in here talking to myself. Remember that?
Right.
You're talking to yourself. Well, that's you and God in the argument. You follow me? You have an inner vision. You see, you have an inner vision, an inner hearing, and an inner heart. When you're looking around the room right now, your vision is restricted to the walls, floors, and ceiling, right? But when you close your physical eyes, you can see your car parked outside. You can see your best friend on the playground, or you can see the people that you left in Louisiana, right? And it's not just memory, because you've had dreams. They were so vivid, something played out, and then you walked the earth 2 weeks later, and something happened, unfolded in front of you. You told the person, maybe your wife next to you, hey, I saw this in my dream 2 weeks ago. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
The question is, how do you remember something that never happened yet? But there is somebody inside of you that can see through walls and back and forward through time. That's God in the temple. And the temple is not a building down the street. It's the place on the side of your head, next to your ears and your eyes, are windows to the soul. Because the kingdom of heaven is within you. And he who was in you is greater than he who was in the world. You follow me? So you also have an inner heart. If your little sister calls you from another city and she disrespects you on the phone, she can break your heart. Am I right?
That's true.
But it's not your heart, the muscle that pumps your blood, is it?
No.
She breaks your emotional, spiritual heart. You follow me? You have an inner hearing. You know, your wife could be in the house cleaning up all by herself, and you could be in another city. You follow me? And then all of a sudden she hear you call her name and she answer. Yeah, Joe, or whatever, you know, like right quick. And then she embarrassed because she's the only one in the house. Then the phone rings. and guess it's you. And she say, I was just thinking about you. And you say, yeah, you was on my mind. You understand what I'm saying?
Actually, I have a great example of that. I was laying down one day, and this is before we had finally connected, but you know, it hadn't got to the marriage phase, and I was resting, and she was in a different city. I was in Connecticut, she was in New York, and as I was resting, I heard her voice, and she was saying to me, did you say you were gonna call me? And then I could hear her thoughts going, well, maybe I should call you. No,
that's right.
And she's like, I'm just going to call you. And I woke up and my phone rang and it was her.
That's right.
I picked it up. I said, hey, did you just sit there and kind of go back and forth with yourself whether or not to call me and whether we had a arranged call? She said, huh?
Twin flame.
Yeah. She was like, we're slain?
Twin flame.
Twin flame. Yeah. And just the other night, we shared it's like we were in a dream together. I walked out of one house. She saw me walk out. And then I tried to contact her, but I couldn't get in touch with her. And she was wondering what happened. She was like, why did you leave? And so we started talking back and forth about the dream and realized that we were in the same place.
Always in the same place at the same time, vibrating on different frequencies. And you and her can always contact one another. Let me explain. Whenever people meet and they shake hands or a simple gesture like that, you create an etheric connection. Your spirit is all that. The Christian?
Yes, Mr.
I have a tracking number for you. And anyway, whenever you shake hands, you make an etheric connection. And if you focus on that connection, next time y'all touch or shake hands, look at each other's eyes and focus on that connection and say, we're going to keep that connection. And that etheric link between you and her makes a spiritual connection that if she ever gets in trouble with you could, one of y'all can run down that line and go to the other one and help them. Or if they get sick, you feel it. You know what I mean? Or if they're distressed, and you'll always have that link. Always. It's an etheric cord. And I can show that to you tonight, and I will show you. I'll show that to you in your own body where you can actually see the link with your own eyes. How about that?
That's awesome. Yeah,
that's what I'll do.
I would love to be able to navigate this aspect of
I follow you.
Me.
So what he's saying, family, is that if a lot of us are out on a tarmac with a big giant 747 jet, but it's in the spiritual realm, and only 5 of us can see the jet. Now, we have an advantage over the 45 people that can't see it, because they have a physical mind. They're carnal beings. But the thing is, what he's saying is that I can see the jet. Okay, he and I and 3 more people, we go on board the jet, because there's going to be an earthquake on the ground. They announced that everybody on the ground is going to die. So our advantage, we can see the jet. We get on the jet. But his thing is okay, now we're on the jet and we can see it, but who's going to fly it? Somebody got to learn how to fly the thing, you understand? Or we still die like everybody on the ground, even though we can see. You hear me? All right.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, I know. You want to take it to the next level, and that's why I'm here. All right, Christian, you have something to write with.
Yes, Messiah.
All right. The tracking number is 9549 0107 2903 5023 9576 15. Would you like me to repeat that, or do you have it?
I got it, Messiah.
Okay, now the number that you call, the track is 800-275-8777. All right? And your new name is included in there. And I love you, all right?
Love you too, Messiah. I love you all.
Right. There you go, and we all love you. We are one. That's one thing we have to remember, in the Intergalactic Confederation, I don't care if you look like a praying mantis or you're plasma, but, you know, if you look like mist or steam, one thing we all have in common, we all know that we all belong to the oneness. And all, by earth definition, is what you're calling God. All is all. You can't add. Mute your phone. You can't add to it. Because where would you get it from? And you can't take away, because where would you put it? And we remember that. You follow me? So it's easy, son, for you and your wife to be one. Everybody is. It's just that you all are beginning to remember. Remember. And a crude way to look at that is if somebody dies under suspicious circumstances and they do an autopsy. They put a foot over here, a hand over here, body parts. They dismember the body. But when it's time for the funeral, the undertaker comes in and he remembers the body. He puts everything back together. You follow me? So you all are beginning to remember. 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 What you previously knew but have forgotten by time. You understand? All right. Who has that next question?
I do.
Go ahead.
Well, lately I keep
you kind of breaking up. Leroy, you're breaking up in Florida there. I'm glad to hear your voice.
I'm on another phone. My phone off. But I saw you last night, and you was dressed up like a whisper master. You came to me, it was a couple of guys, maybe more than just three, and we were sitting down, and you was walking back and forth, and you was going through these numbers and stuff, like on the chart, you was naming numbers. You said something like 17, 7, and then you said something about you got more to teach us, and you walked away, and that's all I remember. And then I went into another vision where I was moving the sun. I was moving the sun. I didn't think I could move it. I didn't think I moved the sun. And then all of a sudden, I moved big orbs. While I was doing it, it was jumping back. The people say, why is big balls of light going around your body? I just didn't know what that was. And then the second time I did it, I kind of jumped back. I said, no, that can't be real. And I tried it again the third time. And it felt so real, I was like, oh, no, I got to get up out of this. And I realized I was just having that vision, like just sitting in the chair. And this been happening like a lot lately. But I just want to let you know that.
Very good. Very good. All right. Next question.
I have a question.
I'll do my best.
Is heaven a physical place or is it a state of mind?
Heaven is not a place. It's a condition, right? And I'll give you a simple example. The people in heaven and hell will be able to speak to each other openly every day. And the two could hear each other. It's just that the people in hell can't sense the bliss of paradise, nor can the people in paradise sense the roaring of the flames of hell, because these are conditions only perceived by those in it. Now the holy prophet delivered a sermon to a multitude of people one day on the mount, when he told them that heaven extended over the whole of the paradise, extended over the whole of the heavens and the earth. It was everywhere. When he got through, the devil sidestepped him, as usual, to cast doubt in the crowd. The devil said, you said heaven is everywhere, holy man? Then he turned to the crowd and said, then where's hell then? That don't leave much room, does it? And people started scratching their head without their hand and like, yeah, he got a point there. I've been in hell before. And they started walking up. The holy man said, wait a minute. And they stopped. He said, he asked a very serious question. He asked them, where does the day go when the night comes? Which was to imply that the house you're standing in right now is in darkness. But left standing long enough in the same place, it'll eventually be in daylight. Now, daylight and darkness are two physical poles of under, two opposites. They can't exist in the same place, day and night. But now you have one bed and one pillow. You can lay on that spot, and you can be in bliss in heaven. Or you can lay on that in that bed on that pillow and have a toothache and be in hell. What I'm saying is you have one mouth, and you can tell the truth from that place, and you can tell a lie from that same place. But I'll be damned if you can tell the truth and a lie after what? At the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah, it might be day and night on that roof in the same place, but it can't be at the same time. So what I'm saying is whenever you in heaven, you're not in hell. And whenever you in hell, baby, that's not heaven. Do you hear me? So you can make heaven is not a place, it's a condition. It's a state of being. It's a state. Are you following me? That's why I'm asking all of you to meditate and draw clear definitions as to your concept of what heaven would be to you. I had one of my students, Susie Campbell, at that time, she was 86 years old in Brooklyn, New York. And that was 10 years ago. And she was very spiritual. I used to go to her in the spirit and sit in the living room. While we're talking on the phone, I would see her laying there in her robe, and I would describe to her what she was wearing and everything. She'd say, "Ahmed, are you here with me?" I said, "Yeah." One time, she was in a room sleeping. She woke up. She called me. She said, "I saw a big flat screen TV over my bedroom door, and I saw your name and Malachi's name going back and forth in green lights. And you started singing Ray Charles' song, I Can't Stop Loving You." You know? I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I went to get up out the bed because I looked for the phone we was talking on, and I remembered I left it in the living room. But the phone wasn't in the bedroom, so I couldn't figure out how we was talking." I was thinking, yeah, I can. Anyway, she tried to move her leg off the bed, like you swing it off the bed, and she couldn't make it move. So she said, I grabbed my leg with my hands to try to pick it up and put it on the floor. And my hand went right through my leg. And she said, I looked down at my leg and my hand, and it was blue light. I said, yeah, it was your spirit body. I'm glad you didn't turn around and look back at the pillow, because that would have scared you. When she realized that her body was still laying on the bed, you understand? But I went to her since she crossed over, you know. I love Susie. But she used to always talk about these little black girls. Everywhere she goes, she asked the parents, could she hug them and kiss them and buy them little candy and different things. But I didn't know that she was that serious about little black girls until one time in one of my many experiences. I was standing somewhere and it was dark. I looked up at the sky and I saw this bright light, like a star, but much brighter. That spiritual light is brighter. And it started coming toward me real fast, and the closer it got bigger, and I saw a smaller light circling around it, circumambulating it, navigating it, going around and around, like Saturn. So the way it looked, it was going around and around, and it got closer and closer until it got right upon me, and it enveloped me. I just lost consciousness. I was in the light, or I became the light. Then I woke up again, and I was looking down on the clouds on Earth. Then the clouds parted, and I saw two armies facing off. There was reptilians in black vests on the right, and then the Earth armies on the left. And it was just like when you get in the fight, you hit them and they hit the ground. The Earth people didn't have no chance, right? Then I lost consciousness again, and I was way out in stellar space. And I looked down, and I saw Nibiru down to my left, and to the left of Nibiru, I saw that little light. So it looked to me like the big light that I saw was the Nibiru, and then this little light was the thing orbiting around it. But then my attention was drawn to the right, and I looked to the right, and I knew it was Susie, just like when you see in a dream one of your relatives, they look different, but you know it's them because their essence is the same. Anyway, I saw Susie. She was a tiny baby girl, perfected, reddish-brown-skinned baby girl, tumbling head over feet, backwards, not backwards, but tumbling like sideways, doing cartwheels toward the earth. And I said to myself, I said, wow, I didn't know she was that serious about being a little, but that's what she thinks. That's her concept of heaven. So That's what her concept. But I doubt if any of you all would think of being a little baby again would be your concept. That's what I mean by all of you have a different concept of heaven, right?
Right.
But take this a little further. I look down and to the left, that light turned out to be a sham. It was a black sham. It was perfect, you know, and it had a gold rim around the hole in the bottom with an extremely bright light pouring out the bottom. That's the living soul. And then 3 gold rings clung to the bottom. Cling, 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 like that. And the next thing you know, I was on the bureau. And I was sitting by a port window with the window to my left, looking outside. It was a being, a presence sitting next to me. I was in a kind of dark room, but it was light behind my back. So I turned over and I looked behind my back. It was like a little medical facility. And my mother was in bed there. And she was looking real young. Her hair was black, and she was just as healthy and young. And there was a black nurse standing next to her, and she was kind of heavy set with a white earth nurse uniform with the hat and the white thing. But I could see she was the sister. She was black, you know, but she wasn't fat, but she was kind of stout, like. And I got happy about that vision because my mother was all right. And then I turned back around and I started focusing on this being next to me. And I could see the silhouette in the dark, and it was kind of like an exoskeleton, like an insect with a long head in the back. And it was kind of shiny. And I was describing the view. I said, this is an ascension craft, and it's jewels, metals, and wire, but it's also a living soul. And this being started nodding his head real fast, going, yeah. And so I started focusing harder to let my eyes adjust to see it. And I woke up at home in bed. That was the end of that particular experience. They don't really want you to get that deep into it like that to know exactly, but just enough to make you wonder. You follow me? But I'll tell you, it is real. And you all are extraterrestrial beings. And this is not your first time. You are eternal beings. Because the Creator is forever. And if you create in His image and likeness, there is no death for you. Except for those that don't believe, they will experience the second death. You follow me? And hell will follow close behind. Because they don't believe in the spiritual realm. You understand? These are carnal, physical beings. They're thick, mud beings. All right, who has that next question?
I'll do your part. Oh.
Somebody that can speak clearly. What is your next question?
Oh. All right. What is it now? Because I notice now a lot of times, you know, it seems like I'm getting further and further away from, you know, people on this plane, I guess. It's like when I talk to people a lot of times now, I try to break stuff down. Okay. I notice a lot of times when I talk to people on this plane, you know, and I just recently started noticing this like the last 2 years. Seems like, you know, I find myself having to break stuff down as simple as I can possibly get it, and still, like people still not getting it.
Yes, indeed.
Know? I mean, and it gets frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, what is that? I mean, what's going on?
It's exactly that. They're thick, they're carnal, and they don't understand. Their consciousness is not, they're not vibing on a high frequency. And they can't understand the simplest things. It frustrates you, don't it?
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Yeah, but you be trying not to get mad, but you keep seeing them how they move and think, and you be like, I can't believe this. They can't understand the simplest things. And it's so clear. It's clear to you. It's clear to you, right?
Yeah, I mean, half the time I just find myself just shutting down. I'll be like, you know, I'm tired. You know, y'all. You
get tired, but I tell you what you got to do. You can find strength inside by dealing with the truth. John 8:32. Know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Just always remember that you and I were once like that.
Yeah.
You follow me? And you'll have more patience with those people.
As I remember now, there was times, you're right, there was times when I didn't understand certain stuff, you know, but
That's
I
right.
tried my best to overstand it more so than challenging people.
I follow
You
you.
know what I'm saying?
Well, the devil is
Yeah,
a
so it's a
challenger, a
difference.
naughty disputer.
Yeah. Okay.
You see, in the Bible it says, do unto others you as you would they would do unto you. But in the Satanic Bible it says, do unto others before they do unto you. You understand? Let me,
Okay.
everybody has a King James Bible, right?
Yeah.
Even the newest students. I'd like you all to get your King James Bible and go to the book of Romans right quick. As quick as you can. Please, everybody get a King James Bible or look it up on the phone. King James, comma, Romans, chapter 7. Give me a Bible.
Hey, that's it. That's what I dreamed about. Messiah.
See, the devil is going to talk to you all through this book right now, tonight.
Hey, that's what I dreamed about. Chapter 7. That's what I was talking about, Messiah.
Okay, I know, but you're breaking up. You got to get on another phone, son, for me to understand you.
Yeah, that's what I dreamed about.
Right. Romans, chapter 7. All right. Do you all have it? Romans?
Yes.
Chapter 7?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. Star 64 to clear the back line. We don't want any noise coming over the line. Okay. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband. So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she should be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Christ, that ye should be married to another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto God. For when we were in the flesh, the motions of sins, which were by the law, did work in our members, to bring forth fruit unto death. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we are held, that we should serve in newness of spirit, and not in the oldness of the letter. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. What he's saying is that the devil was doing everything wrong, cannibalism and all that, but he didn't know the law of the Most High. So when he found out the law, he was asking, was the law made death unto him? You understand? Because of his nature. Okay, what shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust, except the law has said, thou shalt not covet. But sin, taking occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of concupiscence. For without the law, sin was dead. For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died. And the commandment, which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death. For sin, taking occasion by the commandment, deceived me, and by it slew me. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just, and good, was then that which is good made death unto me? God forbid. But sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceedingly sinful. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that I do. If then I do that which I would not, I consider to the law that it is good. Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing, for to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good, I find not. For the good that I would, I do not. But the evil which I would not, now that I do. Now if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. I find in the law, make up one, right? I find in the law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the law of God after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who should deliver me from the body of this death? I thank God through Jesus Christ our Lord. So then with the mind, I myself serve the law of God, but with the flesh, the law of sin. God damn it, boy, that rascal. Oh, man. But do you all see the nature of the devil?
Yes.
You see, he finds himself in a certain kind of bad place, because his nature is evil, but it's natural to him, like breathing or heartbeat. So being evil is his nature. It's not anything he has to think about to do. You understand? He's just evil by nature. It's natural to him. And so now, with their mind, they can figure out, now that's the law of God, and I shouldn't be like this, so I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't be trying to separate people from the light or from heaven. But they find another law, but they will do it. You understand? Because it's of nature, it's the law inside them working against the law of their mind, bringing them into captivity under the law of sin. But that which they should, they would not. But that which they should not, no, that they do. You understand? So I'm not trying to confuse people, but who has the next question? Sorry, I just thought that the way the class was going, that everybody should hear from him in person, because his name was coming up kind of frequent, So I thought I'd let him.
I've never watched the whole Lucifer series.
Yeah.
The Lucifer series brings up that exact point. Even when he's trying to do the right thing, he deceives, he lies, he manipulates.
That's him.
That's the nature.
That's the nature of the beast.
And he thought he was doing good.
Well, he trying to tell himself he's doing good, but he know he's evil.
Right.
And usually got an evil mom and daddy a lot of times, because the apple don't fall far from the tree. They're rebellious and argumentative and evil. You understand? Obstinate. A naughty disputer. Disagreeable. Mm-hmm. That's right. They're sphincter muscles. They are. They're the armpit of creation. The devil. And everybody should take their head. Because if everyone lit just one little candle, what a bright world this would be. The devil's running around trying to put the light out. You understand? Every chance they get, they try to separate people from the light. And they know it's the light. But they convince themselves and try to convince others it's bullshit. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they've done their job. They've done their evil job for that day. But that could cost somebody their soul that believe in Satan. Right?
Right.
All right, who was that next question? I know a lot of y'all didn't think the devil was in the Bible, but he got kicked out of heaven. Please. You understand?
And look, I got a whole list right here, so if anybody wants to go ahead, that's cool. If not, I'll just work on down the numbers that I got.
Well, I'm happy about that.
All right. I've been working to, I've been connecting with my ancestors and, recognizing that the names, even the name that I have, comes from people that enslaved my family. And
I'll find your new name for you. You have one.
I do, and I've been trying to find it since I was a child. I've been trying to come up with another name for myself.
Well, the brother Christian Frazier, he just sent for his new name, and it's on the way to him now, along with some other gifts from me. But go ahead.
That's good. Yeah, my question really was, now that I've, rediscovered the Nuwaubian culture and his family, that how do I find my name?
Me. I'm the Enea, the connection to the Most High, and I'll prove that tonight. I'll prove it right now. How is that? If you and your wife can step outside and look at the sky real quick and pick out a star and let me know when you see it as quick as possible. Everybody here on the class, do the same.
Now, she done slipped off the bed. Oh, you here? You come join me up back? Well, we gotta be brief because it's chilly. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Let me see here.
Check a star?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, the bright one right there? Oh, okay. Okay, we picked one. We're looking at the same star? Yes. Okay, yeah, we're looking at the same star.
I want to tell you all that what you already know. A lot of you know that it's snowing everywhere practically, right?
Right.
Well, I want you to know that this is a new heaven and a new earth coming in. The snow is artificial wherever you are. You hear me? It's not real snow. So what you do, when you go outside, you pack some snow in a ball and try to burn it with your lighter, and it's going to turn black like styrofoam. It's not going to melt like water.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fake snow in this reality. And a lot of the food is starting to taste like wood and paper. It's not real. It's not real. Because the energy is leaving this realm and moving into the fifth dimension, the fifth plane. Right?
So our food don't taste good here?
Right. No, it's starting not to, for some people.
I've been witness to that.
Yeah, it's not tasting real. It's starting to taste like fast food. Huh?
No, I was saying so do I. You just don't want to eat anymore.
That's right too. Yeah. That's right too. But one of the reasons people don't want to eat is because it's not like it used to be. All right, Now, for the new brother and sister, do you all see the stars in the sky?
Yes.
You do? Very good. I want y'all both to pick out a star, or do you see the moon?
No, we can't see the moon.
Okay, is this your first time in class?
Yes.
I am the real Messiah. I want you to know that, okay? And that's important only for one reason, so you can know you in the place you've been searching for. Now focus on that star and tell me when you see it, the one you pick out. Be in agreement on the star.
Okay. We are in agreement.
All right. Move up in the name of Amun-Rayay. Now drop down. Move to the left in the name of Amun-Rayay. Everybody can see it. Tell us what you see.
Moving to the left, Messiah.
All right. Move to the right in the name of Amun-Rayay.
Moving to the right, I mean.
That's right. Now go in a clockwise circle.
It's going in a clockwise circle.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's true. But I'm as real as you are. You know what I mean? In other words, if you wasn't real, you wouldn't be attracted to being, you wouldn't be clinging to the magnet. You understand what I'm saying, son?
Oh, yeah.
You kept going to false teachers and false lie after lie. You understand? Until you ran out of breath. That's right. But if you're really real and you're looking for the real truth, seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door will be open. Ask and it will be given unto you. You hear me?
Loud and clear.
So
yeah, I am the real Messiah. Did your wife see it too?
She said she didn't see it. And
she didn't? Okay, good. Let me deal with her personally. I want to make a mind link with her. Put her on the phone.
Okay, give me a sec, because I was standing here watching, and I was trying to make sure I wasn't the one moving.
No, you're not. You know what some people do? They put their eye behind a telephone pole and one out, you know what I mean? Or a stop sign or something. Or put your head.
Yeah.
They do something like that to try to figure out your own way to make sure that it's not you. I'll tell you the wisest way to find out, because the rest of the stars not moving, just the one we're talking about, you see?
Okay, well, you know what? I don't know if we're looking, well, she and I are looking at the same star. But I don't know if the rest of them.
Let's put her on so she can pick out her own star. Let me talk to her, please.
She's here. Hey there, I just came back out.
All right. Pick out your own star, sister. I know it's cold. Let me know when you see it. Brightest one. Huh?
You said pick the brightest star, see?
Well, yeah, pick one out, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all by itself. All right. Raise up in the name of Amun-Rayay. Now drop down in the name of the Messiah.
Oh, yeah, he dropped.
Yeah. Now go in a circle in the name of Amun-Rayay, clockwise.
It's circling. Oh, it's got a blue aura.
Yeah, that's by energy. All right? Now I'm going to do something special for you, sister. I'm going to make that star come closer to you. In the name of the Messiah, Amun-Rayay, come closer to her. Now go back out.
She moving.
Yeah. I see it.
move back out.
That's right. Now, sister, did you see that? Any movement? Tell the truth if you...
Well, I was going to say it's a little hard for me to tell. Like, it's hard for me to tell if it's my body moving, if it's whatnot.
It's not your body. I can tell you it's not your body. If you see movement, you saw it moving. You know why you know? Because look at it now, and it's not moving. There's no confusion there. None of them moving now. You follow me? You see?
I do hear what you're saying. When you said for it to move back, it did look like it shifted.
It did.
I wasn't able to tell clearly the other movement.
Okay. Now, do you all see the Orion constellation? You know it when you see it?
I can see it.
Yes, sir. I see it.
Let's see.
All right. The whole constellation of Orion moved to the left in the name of Amun-Rayay.
I don't think we can see Orion where we are.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Oh.
I'll move the whole creation. All the stars in the heavens. All creation. Move to the left in the name of the Messiah.
Moving left.
They all lit up.
Yeah.
I see it moving left.
Now all creation move back to the right.
I ain't moving.
All creation, raise up.
Raising up.
Raising up.
All creation, drop down.
Dropping down.
Now I'll tell you,
Okay.
as to your wife, don't be too concerned about that, because some people never see it, and they therefore they don't ever reach the place where they can move them. But there's a brother in Rhode Island, John Brown, and his wife was a school teacher. He couldn't see it, but he wanted to so bad. He caught a jet and flew out to me, to Millersville, Georgia. I was outside moving the moon when he pulled up in the cab. When he got out, I did what I promised. I put my hand on his shoulder, and he's been moving everything in creation ever since then and more, coming out by doing everything. But some people have to actually put my hand on their shoulder. You know what I mean? And I don't know. That's what they think they need. You follow me? In order to see it, and then when they see it, they can do it. You follow?
Right.
But I'll give you my word, sisters. As long as y'all stay with me, I'm gonna stay with you until everything is clear to you. Okay?
Thank you.
And then once I can get your husband to doing it, he'll have even more patience to take his time and show you not only what he saw tonight, but what he can do. Okay? You got to know this in your mind that we are God. God can, you can. Jesus said that you would all do greater things than him, and he raised the dead and walked on water. You follow me? Muhammad split the moon. So it's going to be there. But brother, you did see it though, right?
Gotta tell you, I kept myself steady, and I put that star in the middle of a branch.
Yeah.
And it moved from one section, and it was focused in another part of that section.
That's right.
We got tree cover and things like that to where I am.
And that was smart. That was smart. Some people take a stop sign or a telephone pole or electric wire or something to gauge it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was very wise of you, brother. That's how you know. Because see, what the difficulty is, sister, it's so far from what we think of as reality until we have a tendency to doubt it right away. It didn't happen. You don't believe it. You follow me? And another thing, brothers, women feel that they're the guardian of sanity. In other words, they try to keep their husbands from going for pyramid schemes and this, that, and the other. They try to stand back and be the voice of reason. Like, don't be too quick to jump this or you know, let's make, you know, they don't follow bandwagons, like, you know what I mean? So when the real thing comes, they still have that shield up. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Fair enough.
They do, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'll take that because I understand that. I understand things, and I will take time with them. Okay? Next person. Now, if y'all stand and watch other people move the stars, maybe you can see them better. Who's going to be next?
I'm from London. This is Anukas.
Where you going to move, Anukas?
I see Orion.
Okay, the constellation. Okay, go ahead.
In the name of Amun, move up.
Brother, I want you and your wife to get some snow and try to light it with a lighter, and you're going to see it's fake. What are you going to do with it now?
Step outside and grab.
Yeah, grab some snow and try to melt it.
In the name of Amun, drop down. Okay. In the name of Amun, move to the left.
Moving to the left.
All right. Who's going to be next? Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. Who's going to be next?
Love you.
I love you more. Who's going to be next? Anybody in London here today?
Yeah, it's raining here.
It is. Okay. Ranu, what about you?
Yeah, I'll go out there.
I will. This is Ivory.
Okay, Zybri, what do you see? What are you going to move for, Zybri?
This bright star above my head.
Okay, what are you going to do with it?
In the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, make it go counterclockwise. It's going.
There it is. Yep, it's going. There it is.
Now make it
moving counterclockwise.
in the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah.
Go ahead.
Moving up.
Let's move it up. Oh yeah, I see it.
Drop down. Drop down. Let me speak for you. Drop down.
Oh, there it is. Oh.
Drop it down.
Too fast. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Now raise back up. Wobbling, but it's going up.
Moving up.
Yeah. All right. Next person. Next person.
Southwest. Thank you, Messiah.
I love you.
I love you.
I'll go ahead. I'll go.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. What do you see? What do you want to move?
The star is right above me. Bright star right above me.
I see it. What are you going to do with it? And I'm inside the house in the dark with my eyes closed. It's a mind blank. Okay, what are you going to do with it?
In the name of Moon, star, do some wide counterclockwise circles. It's circle.
Yeah.
Moving clockwise.
In the name of the moon, you saw it drop down.
Let's go in a circle.
Drop it down. Oh, it fell down.
Yeah, it's dropped. Oh.
Raise back up.
And moving up.
All right. I need to refer to Amun-Rayay, Asa, your real Messiah. Now let me say, I had a lot more for you all tonight, but I'm not going to be able to get to it. I made a promise to the new brother that I was going to let him see his spirit, he and his wife, And I'll do that next class coming Sunday. Bring everybody with you. Don't doubt reality. We are one. I love you.